The implant is a tiny rod that is located under the skin in the upper arm. And what it does is that with the help of progestin, the ovulation stops, and it usually lasts for 4 years. It has an effectiveness rate of more than 99%. So less than 1 per 1,000 women in 2 years get pregnant. And usually people stop using this because of irregular bleedings.
The female sterilization is a permanent procedure to prevent pregnancy. It works by blocking the fallopian tubes. It is more complex and costs more than a vasectomy, that is the male sterilization. The possible ways to block the fallopian tubes are using a cautery, most of all blocking them by using plastic bands or something like a clip, for example, and also by cutting them or taking a part of them, so it will connect to the uterus.
And in this case, now another anticonceptive method is the diaphragm. This method consists in a shallow silicone cup inserted into the vagina to prevent pregnancy. It lasts up to 2 years, and if women always use it as it is supposed to use, 6 out of 100 will become pregnant each year. And if women do not always use the diaphragm as directed, 12 out of 100 will become pregnant each year. So it doesn't prevent at all to get pregnant. So in this case, it is recommended to use a latex condom in order to reduce the risk of any infection or pregnancy. So it do not protect you from sexually transmitted infections.
It contains chemical products in order to prevent the movement of sperms. They can be used alone or can be used by another contraceptive method in order to increase the efficiency. The risk, it depends. If it used correctly, it can reach at 82%. If it is not used correct, it can descend at 71%. These are the types of spermicide that are jelly or cream, film, foam, and suppositories.
Well, the next anticonceptive method is the intrauterine device. That is a small and flexible device that is placed in the woman's bum. And well, how it works? Well, it makes difficult the sperm to move, but it does not prevent the ovaries to form an egg each month. And it is highly effective, about 99%, and it prevents an unwanted pregnancy but does not prevent many diseases.
I will talk about the hormone patch, which is another anticonceptive method. This one is a really not so common as the other ones, but it has the same hormones as the birth control pill, which are progesterone and estrogen. And for using it, you have to place it in any part of the skin you want. It's most common used in the abdomen or in your arm or in your buttock. Yes, okay. And you have to place it there for 1 week. But when that week ends, you have to change place. We'll put it in another place. And then we have the birth control vaginal ring, which is also known as the ring. This one is another. It uses also hormones, which are the same ones, estrogen and the other one. And you put it in your vagina, insert it like a tampon, and it has to stay there 3 weeks. And it's effective in 90%. And that's all.
The male condom is the most popular method to avoid pregnancy, STI, and HIV. Also, the condom prevents direct contact with the penis and the vagina and prevents the sperm from leaking into the vagina. The effectiveness preventing pregnancy is between 80 and 90%, but should work in a 97%. To make the best out of both condoms, they have to be inserted correctly
to prevent any breakage, and they also have to be taken out early.
I'm going to talk about vasectomy. The vasectomy is a minor surgical procedure in which you close and cut off the tubes that prevent sperm from getting into the urethra and penis and then entering the vagina when sex intercourse occurs. It takes from 15 to 30 minutes to make, and it usually has no sexual effects on the intercourse. To understand the vasectomy, we need to see this image, and the first is that sperm is created in the testes, which are these balls covered by the scrotum. When the sperm is almost ready but not mature, it travels from the epididymis on this on the epididymis to mature, where it can stay up to 6 weeks in order to be effective when talking about sexual intercourse. And the vasectomy is when you cut off this tube, which we can call epididymis, in order to stop and prevent the immature sperms from getting any further.
Now I'm going to talk about another kind of anticonceptive method. This is the abstinence. There are 3 types of abstinence. The first one is the outer course, that is not having any vaginal intercourse, but you might enjoy another kind of sexual activities. The second one is the periodic abstinence, that is when you don't have to do any kind of sexual activity when the woman are in risk of pregnancy. And the last one is the most effective or correct concept that we can use, that is not having any kind of sex play with a partner. How effective is abstinence? Well, it is 100% effective, and it also prevents the sexual diseases.
We might have many contraceptive methods. They may be effective or not in pregnancy, but the only safe method to avoid sexually transmitted diseases, including HIV and human papillomavirus, is the condom.